Hello, thank you one and all for joining me, and a big welcome to any new subscribers. Um, we are a friendly bunch on here, um, so please do leave a message. And if you see or feel that anybody would appreciate a reply, then pop in a reply to them. I'm sure it would mean a lot. And it certainly means a lot to me that it's not just me giving, but everybody else is giving as well. And that makes the world go round. Well, not just my channel, but we do our bit, don't we? We really do. We help each other. We support each other. So let's keep up with that. Onward and upward. Are you one of those people who does have selective hearing loss or visual loss? Not that you actually have a problem with your eyes or your ears, but you choose to cut out some things. For some, this can be subconscious, but it has become a habit. So you just don't hear certain things. And hands up in apology to any guys on here, but there are always comments around about men suffering from selective hearing loss if they are being asked to do a task, especially. I can relate to that one. So, what if you are outside, walking along, striding out, person on a mission? Do you tune in to anything other than your phone, or maybe your earpods with music on? Do you tune in to the sounds of nature? Or maybe you're on a busy road, so the music is counteracting the sound of the traffic. I know that's when I do tend to put on music, but then I do leave one ear uncovered because I don't think it's very safe to go along fully cutting out the sound of the traffic. Is that just me being oversensitive, over, I don't know what I'm being over, but over careful? That's the way I am. I won't change that after so many years. So what about selective vision loss? What do you miss? Do you look for the bigger picture? Do you start with the minutiae and build up? In either case, it's possible to miss. On the one extreme, you might miss the whole picture, and on the other, you miss those little details. But we each have our own way of preferred working, but we have to remind ourselves that we need to continue through to the end of that process so that we go from small to big, not small to medium-sized. And we go from big all the way down to the finer details, not stopping midway. And it's the same when you're outside. I love looking at the little things. I'm waiting for the first of my mum's violets to pop up. And I think that's probably why I put this purple jacket on to record this, because I love seeing that. Oh, and the first snowdrops as well. They lift our spirits, as do the rest of the bulbs, the daffodils, tulips, narcissi. if we don't cut those out, if we take time just to cast a glance at them, that will help us on our way. And I have some flowers here. In fact, the hyacinths were in a bulb bowl, but they started to go a little bit, so I cut them and added them to those roses. But again, if you just look at them en masse, yes, pretty colours. But if you actually study them, there's so much there. And the scent of the hyacinths is gorgeous. So use your vision, use your hearing. And I know children very often have both visual and hearing loss at bedtime. Come on, time for bed. No response. Eventually you get through, and apparently when I was little, my mum would say, well, come, let's get you your glass of milk. And I usually had a glass of milk going to bed. But I would always apparently say, oh, can I have a cup of tea instead? Because I knew that it took longer to make a cup of tea than to pour a glass of milk. These little ones, they're not daft. Well, most of them aren't. So we've got the hearing, we've got the vision. What about feelings? Sometimes we can build a wall around ourselves that cuts out feelings coming in, feelings that we don't want to come in. But if you do that, they're just going to keep pounding on that wall, and they'll find a way in. When you're at a weak spot, they will come in. That anger, that grief, that really, really deep feeling of grief, they will come in. So much better than letting them in, acknowledging them, and then setting them aside rather than focusing on them. Because if you're stopping them coming in, you are actually focusing on them. And as you know, some people, some children, they respond to any interaction, any notice that people take. Anything is good if it's keeping them in the newspaper, on the news. And it's the same with us in everyday life. If we are fighting to keep those feelings at bay, they like that, and they will find their way in. So switch on those feelings. Acknowledge that you may be feeling angry and what might be making you feel angry. And then set it aside. Don't dwell on it. Don't focus on it. Don't use it to feed that hamster in the wheel up there. Set it aside and replace it with more positive feelings. You can do it. Thank you for joining me. I really don't want to get up and leave the beautiful scent of these hyacinths. They're lasting really well, and they look pretty with the pink and the red of the roses. Take care. Speak to you soon. Bye for now. Bye.